Welcome to Nintendo News. I'm your host, Chris Dionysus, and it's my Fave 5 for Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, which is one of the most exciting periods of gaming for me and got me into handheld gaming. I bought a Game Boy Color at Toy World many years ago. I think it was 98. And it was very, very cool. Very, very cool times. Now, this is the original Game Boy box, which is excellent. And my first game at number 5 is, if I remember, and I've got my notes. Got my notes here. Got my notes. And it is, it's Super Mario Land. Super Mario Land was a short but sweet game, sort of Egyptian type stuff. Some of the stuff was interesting. With taking out enemies, and some of the music was pretty cool on the levels. But it was a very short game for a Game Boy game, and lucky I didn't pick it up for full price. I think I would have been really disappointed. I think it was $30 or something. But yeah, I mean, it got me through until other games I could afford on the Game Boy. So yeah, I think it was a pretty cool game for its time, and I enjoyed it. I still got the game and I play with it every now and again. All right, the next one is Kirby's Dreamland at number 4. This was another cool game, one of the best Kirby games ever, I feel. And it's just classic Kirby, him going around. I liked the idea of Kirby sucking up all the enemies and blowing them, and I liked using the sword and stuff like that. And I remember faintly about it, not as much back in the late 90s, playing this game. So, but it was still one of my favourites and probably set me off playing Kirby games forever and ever on. So, after that one, what comes at number 3? And that is Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis was one of the games that I started to get into, another series. And it had a great storyline and story mode for this game on the Game Boy Color. That is, and the colors were fantastic. It lasted me a very long time, actually. I played a lot of it. Getting through the matches and that, it's quite difficult. And you go to this tennis school, you go through the rankings, single and doubles, knocking off opponents and things like that. And the game can get very hard, and you've got to do training and things like that, increasing your spin and your speed and things like that, and your top spin and your backhand and stuff like that. It was a tough game, but I enjoyed it quite a lot. One of the games that I really got stuck into for the Game Boy era for myself. So, number 2 is Pokemon Gold. That game I really loved and I was impressed by, because I was waiting and waiting and waiting for it to come out at Toy World. And there it was in this big gold little shiny box, and I was like, oh wow, this is so awesome. And I picked it up, and what I really loved was the phone call options on Pokemon Gold. I loved the night and day stuff. And I liked the two legendaries, Ho-Ho and Lugia. They were both fantastic. And I picked up Pokemon Gold. That was the game. Because Ho-Ho was another bird legendary. But this was like a much stronger fire type than Moltres, though I felt. And that was really cool. The storyline was fantastic. And the big surprise of playing Kanto again, I didn't even know anything about it. And this was before the internet and getting leaked of information. Like, people would have been told that you could visit the Kanto region as well as the second region. But it was nice. It was a very nice surprise, and that kept my Pokemon collecting very, very well, and I was very happy about it. Very, very happy about it. So, what is the number 1 game on my list? And yes, it's not surprising. It is Pokemon Yellow. Pokemon Yellow was the first real big game that I got. Probably the game that I played on the most, I would say. I guess Gold took over it eventually. But I had Pikachu at my side, and that was so much fun. That was the game that I wanted. Because Blue and Red was everyone was playing on the school bus. I was in foster care and that. And I thought, I've got to get this handheld. You know, everyone's playing Pokemon. It looks like a really cool game. And I used to watch the TV show on Cheese TV. It was on at 7:30 to 8 in the morning, and then there was Dragon Ball Z on in the morning here for Australians, and that was a lot of fun. It was so much fun watching the series and playing the video game, and then the Pokemon cards came out and people got into that. I got into it a fair bit, actually, probably more than I thought. Then I stopped doing it because it costed too much for me, and I just kept playing with Pokemon Yellow and then Gold later on down the track, only a year or two later. And that was just so much fun. That was me really getting into it. And I got Mewtwo, and I never found Mew, no. And I got all the legendaries and beat the Elite Four with Pikachu, and I loved how Pikachu's expressions were. So that was a lot of great fun too. So yeah. Great stories with Pokemon Yellow with my Game Boy Color, which was like the purple one, I think. So that is all I've got on my favorite Game Boy and slash Game Boy Color games. Do tell me what your favorite games were of that era. And it was good to go back down memory lane and seeing some of the classic games of that time. So that is it for me, and I shall see you next time.